Hey y'all doing good out there? Good. I'm glad you're doing great. Love it when y'all respond audibly. I can hear all of y'all out there around the world. Hey, listen, credit scores and credit reports. This here is something that we all are affected by credit scores, and whether you have one or not, we all are affected by it like credit cards. Remember on yesterday's show, we were talking about the credit card, getting out of credit card debt, and what is the history of the credit card industry. And I gave y'all the different types of people who use the credit cards. Okay. We talked about the revolvers, the hackers, the transactors, and the people who don't have credit cards. And we talked about how all of these people work in tandem with each other. With the revolver, unfortunately, pretty much financing and bankrolling these others who have cards, and so the credit industry is an industry that America needs today, because once we started it, we can't get rid of it. It's like the gold standard. Once we got rid of it, took the gold off of the dollar bill, the convertibility. It's supposed to have been for a short period of time, but it's been going on for several years now, decades, and it's impossible to go back to the gold standard. It's absolutely impossible, virtually and absolutely, emphatically impossible. We can't. So the credit system that we set up years ago is a system that's here, and it will always be here until Christ comes, and there's no way around it. You don't need a credit report, all right? If you listen to Dave Ramsey, he'll tell you he don't have a credit report, nor do he use credit cards. And he actually represents a whole lot of wealthy people out there who don't care about a credit report, because they see the bond, or the bind, not the bond, although it is a bond, but it's a bind that it has on the people. Now, once you get it, and once you have a report, whether it's bad or good, you got it. And you can't hardly buy anything now without it. But today I want to talk about, our credit reports racists? Our credit reports are racist. And is there some kind of covert, implicit biased overtone there? The answer, yeah. Let's talk about it in 60.
Reporting live 7 days a week, always on time, but his time is not free. Sirwalterj Jones, always on fleek. Latest trending topics, how you jumping out your seat. Controversial subjects, others can't touch it. Community full of people throwing rocks from the bunker to politics, finance, music, and religion. Stirring up the poverty, bring healing to the village. Son named Walter, daughter named Rebecca. Grew up on the south side, who know do it better. Sirwalterj Jones, from the Tribeca. He got something to say, put your hands together. Hey! Come on in, the water is fine.
The water's fine. Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here. It is the evening edition. Baby, come on in. The water is definitely fine, y'all. It is evening time on a Tuesday. Tuesday. We've been doing this thing called Financial Week. All this week we've been talking about finances, all right? We talked about credit card. We talked about, I don't remember. We started Sunday night, I think, or was it Monday? Sunday we talked about biblical responsibility, the scriptures that give us, tell us about prosperity and wealth and what have you. And then yesterday we talked about credit cards. Tonight we're talking about credit reports. I don't remember what I had for lunch, so I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. But I will say to you all, this card right here. This is my Bank of America card. All right. Never leave home without it. This card here. I remember waking up, waking up one morning, and I looked at my credit report after having not looked at it at all for years. Why? Because I was cash is king, man. Everything I bought was cash. I didn't care about a credit. I lived like a wealthy man, even though I was poor. I thought like a wealthy man. I lived by the almighty dollar, which is trash, but I lived by that dollar. And everything that I wanted in life, I paid cash for it. And obviously this was before the system changed, because back in the day, you used to be able to book a hotel with cash and pay for it with cash. You used to be able to rent a car with cash. You know, a lot of that stuff, if not all of it, has changed. We're becoming a cashless society. So I knew now that I couldn't get a rental car. I couldn't book a hotel room. I couldn't buy a plane ticket because everything was, I couldn't. So I said, I think I better try and get me a credit card. So the first thing I did was went on Credit Karma when it was introduced, and I went on here, got a little app and looked at my credit report. It was in the mid 500s. My credit report was like 530. Y'all hear what I'm saying? 530. Now, I am pushing yesterday's show credit card with today's show credit report to show y'all the power that you have, the ability you have to raise your credit score if that is your industry, if that's something that you think you need to do. Because, again, we're in a credit society, and it's going to be a time where you have to have it. Unless you are upper middle class to rich, you just have to have it. And even the upper middle class and rich folks can't do certain things without it. Just can't. All right. So it was 530. I said, good Lord, why my credit score is so low? Well, because I didn't use it. And if you were using it and then you paid something off after about 7 years, that stuff, even if it's good stuff, drop off of your credit report. We always think about delinquencies and bankruptcies and what have you. The good stuff, eventually, after being paid off and sitting there dormant, will have less and less weight on your credit, and then it fall off. And once it fall off, that weight falls off and it lowers your number as well. That's something. That's why people, when they would pay off a bill, they're thinking that their credit score is going to go, but then their credit score go. What that happened? 530. So I said, you know what? I got to get a credit card. If I get a credit card, then I can work on my credit, get it up so that I could buy the things that I need, because I was doing a lot of traveling. I need to rent cars. So what did I do? I went to the Bank of America office and I said, you know what, ma'am, I need a credit card. I have a very low FICO score, so I like to apply for a secured credit card. She said, okay, how much you want to put on it? I says, I think I had about $300 on me. I got $300 on me. It really didn't matter how much. Let me show you the power of how it works. I got $300 on me. She says, oh, fine. Fill out this application. We don't issue the card. A third party issues the card in our name. I know how that works. So I gave her the $300 cash. I filled out the application. She went in the back and she did whatever she did. And she said, all right, you can have the card. And bam, I had the card. Now, I got $300. You can't really buy nothing, hardly anything with a $300 card. But that wasn't the purpose. What I wanted to do was I wanted to rent cars because I didn't have one at the time. And I wanted to rent a car so that I could get from A to B every weekend. So what I do, I went down there to Avis and Dollar Rental and National and all these other places, and I would use my card. I would use my debit card to hold or pay for the thing on the line. And then when I would go to the place, they obviously wanted your credit card because they wasn't taking debit cards. After a while, the airports in Chicago, no more credit cards. You can't just use your credit card to hold a car. No, we want to unsecured or secured. The card don't tell you if it's secured or unsecured. They don't know it. All they see is that Visa logo there and not see debit on there. I gave them a card. They held the maximum $300. They held all of it. They held it. I couldn't use that card no more. I rented a car. I was renting a car every weekend for months. And when the credit card bill came, I didn't pay the $25 minimum. No. I paid it in full every month. $300 charge. Or hold at least, and then they would release the hold minus whatever expenses that I put on the card, paid it off every month, paid it off every month, paid it off every month. At the end of the year, I still didn't care about credit that much. I knew I was going to need it down the road. At the end of the year, I needed something. I can't remember what it was. I was at the end of the next year, I was looking getting ready to shop for a car. I was in the car shopping business. And I checked my credit report for the first time. And I pulled up Credit Karma. And that sucker went from 530 to 650. How? One card. Why? Because I was paying it off. I was not a revolver. I was a transactor off of a $300 low card. I used that one card to jack up my credit report. One card. Okay? I knew I wanted it to go a little higher, so what did I do? I applied for another card. This time, I didn't have to give money for secured. I applied for an unsecured card, and obviously, they gave it to me. And what did that do with my score? It went shoo! Can y'all tell me why my score went down? Over time, then my score went up and it started climbing up and up and up because I was still becoming a revolver on this card and that second card as well. All right? This is how it works. This is how credit works in America and around the world. When you know how to use the system to your advantage. Come on, Danny. Yes, because I got more credit and I got a ding. Can y'all tell me what the ding is? I got a ding because I applied for the card. All right, you credit worthy folks. Y'all tell me what the ding was. All right, sorry. I don't want a blackboard. I want a whiteboard. What's the ding, y'all? Come on, Nancy. You got that answer. All right, I'm looking for my whiteboard. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for the thingy. All right, Linda, it's a hit, but what is it called, you all? What's the name? What is the ding? Thank you, Kim. An inquiry. Inquiry. And those inquiry can add up. If you keep applying for credit, that sucker adds up. And it's negative against your credit, but the longer it's there, the less hold and weight it does have on your credit. All right, so I don't really worry about inquiries, and especially if you're applying for credit several times within a day or two time. When I went looking for a car, obviously, the car company have other creditors, other banks or financial institutions who want to have an opportunity to take your money. So when I went to CarMax, 7 of those suckers ran my credit. Ding! I got like 7 inquiries back to back. Ding, ding. And all those letters came in and the emails came in from, the creditors. Denied, accepted, denied, and then you sit there at the computer and then you decide, all right, there's 3 accepted you, all right, depending on your down payment and depending on your credit score, 3 accepted you. Which 3 do you want? Here are the interest rates. and then you decide which one you want. But all those inquiries popped in. Now, you would think that all those 7 inquiries would have really knocked my credit down so low, it would just be ridiculous. But no, the credit industry don't work like that. Within a short period of time, the many inquiries don't hold weight on your credit report because they know that you're looking for some credit in a short period of time. But if you keep doing that every several weeks, yeah, you're going to have a problem. So let's see. What is it? What getting your credit report on paper without getting a credit check? I'm not understanding that. Dana, ask that in another way. Okay, I'm going to the whiteboard here. All right. First of all, as it pertains to you and credit, you are a number. Face it. You are a number. You will always be a number. Because when the Antichrist comes, it's going to be that number. That's the number of man. You have a Social Security number. You are a number. You have a FICO score. You are a number. You always will be one in the eyes of creditors and politicians and the legal system. That's what you are. 42% of all Americans were denied a financial product last year. Due to what? Credit. Due to your credit score. 42%. That's a lot of people, you all. So the system works like this. I'll do this real quick. We're going to do just the bare minimum tonight. We don't have to go into the really deep stuff about credit because most of you know what it's all about, but I'm giving you some kind of basic history and is it against you? Yes. It goes to 300 all the way obviously to 800 like we said last night. Okay, within that, it's based off of your financial stability. Okay. And your financial stability and your credit worthiness. All right. Your credit worthiness. That's the score from 300 to 800. Now, this is the basics here. We already know that 580 is very bad. All right. That's what I was looking at right before. All right. Oh, taking a credit report on paper without allowing a credit check to be done. Yeah, you got to go into more details with that. Give me an example, taking a credit report on paper. What do you mean taking a credit report on paper? I'm not understanding that. Please forgive me because I'm not understanding. All right, here, 580 is bad. Then 580 to about 659 is considered subprime. Okay. And then you go up to, let's say, 716. That's considered the American average, 716. When you get to about 720, oh, that's the elite. That's the elite. 720 and higher is elite. But here is where a lot of the focus is for poor folks and black folks. Amen. Okay. Dana got her answer. Thank you, because I wasn't understanding. Yeah, Dana, it's the same and it will affect you. Okay, thank you, because I didn't understand it. You know, sometimes I'm smart, but some days I'm dumb as I'm dumb as rocks. All right, right there. So subprime is 580 to 659. Okay, if you're in that bracket there. So the strength, the purpose of having a credit report, a FICO score, and a higher enough credit score, obviously, has to do with your ability to get certain things. Like apartments, loans, mortgages, and your job or a potential job. Now that's crazy, ain't it? Jobs. They check your credit report. So the credit report, the credit report is like the test. But the score, the credit score, because they're not the same thing. The credit score is the grade you get on the test. You understand? So the credit report and the credit score is not the same thing. So when you ask for a credit inquiry on your credit, you either have to ask for the credit report. That is the breakdown of everything in history. Or you ask for a credit score. That's one thing. That's just, what is my score? So some people get that mixed up. And then obviously you know that one would be Equifax. The other one is TransUnion. And the other one is what? Experian. Okay. And these guys here are actually territorial. Territorial. Meaning it depends on what state you are. You can literally go into a store in Chicago, a car lot in Chicago, and they run your credit, and you can kind of tell based off of your research if they're running or they're banking your approval on the TransUnion score, a report that is, based off of where you live. It will tell you. Yep, that's it, Deborah. You should know your score on all three. So even though you may know your TransUnion score at a car lot, you should check the Equifax and Experian as well, because you don't know that one day they may change on you. They may change on you. Okay, so FICO basically, what is it? It's the Fair. It used to be called Fair Isaac Corporation. Or company. It used to be called Fair Isaac Corporation, a company that is. Let's go there. Let's find it right quick. I think I got a Wikipedia somewhere. Do I have it? No, that's not it. I guess I didn't save it. Hold on. Let me find it so that you can see, you know, we are a history show, and I want to see Google. Yeah, I thought I saved it. I guess I didn't. FICO. Right here. Let's go to Wikipedia. There's Wiki right there. Let's go ahead and save it. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna get it right. All right, let's go ahead. Here, FICO, originally Fair Isaac and Company, is a data and analytics company based in Montana, focused on credit scoring services. It was founded by Bill Fair and Isaac in 1956. That's how far back it goes. A measure of a consumer credit risk has become a fixture of consumer lending in the United States. You don't really need to know about the history, where it started, unless you're a nerd like the bunkers and you just want to know where it come from. 2013, lenders purchased more than 10 billion FICO scores, and about 30 million American consumers assessed their scores themselves. The company reported a revenue of $1.29 billion for the fiscal year of 2020. That's a lot of money. Yes, Michelle Fields, we talked about the inquiries. Every time they check now there's a soft check and then there's a hard inquiry. So that's not true that every time they check your credit, it goes down. No, because some do a soft check, which don't affect your credit. All right. And then when they see that you probably is credit worthy, then in order for you to get the card or something, then they do a hard. They're gonna get you a hard. They're gonna give you a hard check, regardless. All right. If they want to take a chance on you, they're not gonna go with that soft. They're gonna go with the hard one. All right. And then we're gonna talk about the different scores here. All right. Let's go to the credit calculator here. All right. This basically is how it works. You all know this, but I'm just refreshing your memory here. This is how it works. And if you don't know how this works, you will never, ever be on top of your credit score. All right. You'll never be on top of it. All right. Because start from the top here, the credit mix. The credit mix here is important, even though it's just 10%, but the credit mix, which has less influence, but still, they want you to have different types of credit. So you've got a revolving credit, which means you got a credit card. I don't know why this is not working over here. You probably got a credit card and you got a car loan. You got a personal loan. Okay, these are credit mixes, which is 10%. If you can get it, fine. I did it off one card. Got my thing up, but it took me a little while. The other 10% is new credit. Every time you get new credit, it's 10% weight on your credit report. Don't keep going after new credit. All right. All right, Mona, you said you're muted. No, I'm not muted. That's you. All right. Well, if she can't hear me, she can't hear me. Say it's you. That's 10 here. New credit is 10. What's next? 15% is credit history. It is going up now. Moderate influence. Your history, your credit history. Now, here's the thing about it. If you have, let's say you have 10 years of credit history, and you apply for a new card, and you get the new card, it ain't 10 years no more. Your history is not 10 years anymore. Can somebody tell me what it is when you get a new card, when you get new credit? Huh? I like to know. All right. Amounts owed, as you can see, is 30%. Amounts owed. That's big. And that's obvious. If you're going to be trying to lend someone, you want to know how much they owe. That is obvious. And then the payment history, that's the biggest, as we can see, 35%. It has the most influence. All right. That's one chart. Here's one that explains a little bit more. All right. New credit accumulation, number of credit inquiries, and new line openings. All right. Yeah. Dates in the last 12 to 18 months. 12 to 18 months. Yeah. So when you get new credit, it knocks your history down. A lot of people don't know that, especially low income people don't know that. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is payment history. The most weight is given to how bills are paid, are payments made on time, on and on. Your length of credit, the amount of time a line of credit has been established. That's the one I'm looking at. That one will go down. All right. I had a credit card. I think it was 5 years, and when I had credit history for about 5 years, and then once I got new credit, it knocked that thing in half. And so then it was 2.5 years. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what happened? I just got new credit. What are you doing? I didn't know how the system worked. But that's how it work, y'all. That's how it work. Okay. Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong. There was a hard credit report one. Thank you. I answered that. I'm glad I did, but that was from Nathan. All right. So where am I? Let's go back to my notes here. See if there's anything else that I might have forgotten. Okay, so let's talk about what's not on your credit report as we get into the race issue here about credit reports. All right. Yeah, come on, Simone. We're drowning in debt. Yes. And we're doing it to ourselves, and then the system is doing it to us as well. The system's got us captivated to where we can't get out of it. All right, what's not on the credit report? All right, typically, the credit industry is telling you we're not racist, and we're not giving you credit on your color, the color of your skin. Okay, what's not on there is obviously your gender, your sexual orientation, your political view, your education is not on the report or your score. How much money you make, these are not on the credit report. Let's say your socio economic orientation. Okay, that's not on the thingy, which is the makeup of your hood where you live, and your level of education. All of these things are not on the credit report. They're telling you we're not racist because we don't know who you are, where you come from, all that stuff. We just look at the history. Credit scores are based on past history. All right, it's based on past history to judge future. It's based on past history to judge your future. So the further back you go, the deeper the structural racism was. This is why it hurts African Americans. I'm telling y'all, I got the greatest penmanship in the world. Yeah, come on. I've got you in my notes. All right. But your zone improvement. Your zone improvement plan will determine the kind of credit you get. Can somebody tell me what a zone improvement plan is? Or program? The zone improvement program. Okay. Can somebody tell me what that is in short? I like to know. Henry got it. Henry got it. Your car insurance rates are affected by your credit score. Yep, as well as that's right. That's called zone improvement. That's what ZIP is. You all got it. Come on. There it is. Okay, so that has a lot to do with it. Okay, so your past has a lot to do with it. Now, I was talking to Oscar Sims. I don't know if he's still here, because it is where you live, because your social security number tells people where and what color you are and where you live. Your social security number tells who you are. Poor people didn't know that until they moved into the whole woke. See, this woke thing is not new. We was waking up in the early 90s. We woke up and we realized again that we all are a number. That's why my father was losing his insurance on the house, and the car insurance was going up. I haven't driven my car. I don't drive my car. Yeah, it's going up. Why? Because where you live. And these agencies look at the crime rate in that area, and if the crime rate is going up, your insurance rate is going up, whether you do anything or not, whether you file a claim or not. You're gonna lose your life, your housing insurance. You could lose it, or the rates could go up because of the crime in your neighborhood. So these play a big part, and your color has a lot to do with credit. Credit scores, they said, aren't racists. That's a yes and a no. Credit scores within itself is not a race issue. The score within itself. But I was talking to Oscar Sims yesterday, day before yesterday. I can't keep up. And he was showing me a video from the African Diaspora News. Y'all know the brother. And a white man who worked in the bank was talking about what happened during the COVID-19 season and how race has a lot to do with whether you're going to get credit or not. Now listen to his breakdown of that. I have the receipts here. All right, grab some coffee. It's about 2 minutes long, and just get educated.
So I'm going to tell a story. I used to work at a bank. I'm not going to disclose what bank it was. I hated working there, though. We'll say that. My official title was personal banker or senior representative, I guess you could call it. Sharing the building with us was a mortgage company that we worked together with. And this was during like 2008 to 2012. So like really right after the recession. People were struggling really bad. And let me tell you, I cannot even comprehend. I can't even think about the number of people who were white and below their credit score to meet a certain criteria, a certain percentage, and we gave them that little nudge because we trusted them. We had faith in them. We believed that they would hold true to their end of the agreement, whatever it may be, whether it be the mortgage or the personal loan, whatever. I cannot count how many times like my managers and the actual mortgage lenders would give out loans to people that really didn't qualify for it. But they trusted them, and that's fine. But the interesting part about that, we trusted them, is that never happened once to a single black customer. Never. In fact, just the opposite. We would have black customers come in with incredibly high dollar values attached to their accounts and very high credit scores. And let's say they wanted to open up a business, and they would still get denied. Like they would get approved for a loan, but it wouldn't be as good of a loan as someone in their exact situation who is white. It'd be a slightly smaller dollar amount, a higher overhead, or maybe an increase in a certain amount of their interest, like the little details that would add up to really them being screwed over. And there's no difference between these groups of people other than some of them were black. So no, it's not that credit scores are racist. It's that there's a high chance that the people who can do something with that credit score, aka give out a loan, approve, other types of finances, chances are like those people are probably a little racist, and then therefore they're less likely to do the right thing or to just treat people equal in general.
The people are racist, not the numbers. It's like guns, they say. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. All right? Yes, Luana, you taking the words right out of my mouth. Still in 2023, your color has a lot to do where you live, how much credit you can get, how much loan you can get, on and on. You can have an 850. Yesterday I told you, I remember I said 850 don't mean a hill of beans. Oscar was telling me yesterday about his score being up in the 800s, and he got denied for the car that he wanted. Because it doesn't matter really how high your credit score. It does matter, but yet it don't. You have a better chance of getting things because you have a high credit, but your black skin lowers the high rate up. All right. So I was reading here, the first three numbers of your Social Security numbers are determined by your zip shown on the Social Security application. The first three numbers. Therefore, babies assigned numbers at birth are screwed before they even know what a piggyback is. All right. And I learned that in the 80s before there was an internet. That first three numbers, they look at that and say, yeah, this is an African American or a Negro. Back then on our birth certificate said Negro. This is a Negro, which means he or she probably live in a lower income area. Yeah, I know. Piggy bank. That's why I struggled with it, because I knew what you meant. crooks have the audacity not to trust me because of this chocolate wrapper. Come on, chocolate wrapper. That's pretty good, Renee. That's pretty good. I like that. That's clever too. All right. So 19. I lost her again. I lost the lady again. All right. Come back. All right. Losing all kind of stuff. 19% of Americans have no score. 19%, maybe you're a part of it. That's not a bad thing. If you, someone like Dave Ramsey, who operate with cash, that's not a bad thing. 34% found at least one error on their, now I think that number is too low. One error on the report. 34%. So then the government put in things in place called what is it called? The Fair Reporting. This is supposed to bless us. The Fair Reporting Act was put in place. It's our rights, to challenge. It's our rights to freeze our accounts. You have a right to freeze your credit report so nobody can check it for fraudulent stuff and what have you. You can get a free report because of the Fair Credit Reporting Agency thingy, okay? But that's not enough. The Fair Reporting Act is not enough for us. We need somebody to police the reporting agencies themselves, and in walk the CFPB, all right? And that would be the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I didn't feel like writing it all out, y'all. I didn't want y'all to suffer. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They regulate these reporting agencies, okay? They regulate Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. All right, so we need them. We need regulations. And then who regulates even more? The Federal Trade. We need them. Commission. Okay? All of these people play a big part in, us being safe. All right? Now they have these new reports that are out because a poor person who got a low credit report, let's say in the 500s, maybe upper mid 500s, want to go and don't want to be a victim of these predatory lending, which happened in 2008 crash. Predatory lending, you all would be able used to go. The only time they didn't see you as a black person was during 2008. 2000, what led to it, which means 2006, 7, and 8. They saw ka-ching when you walked in there, and they gave y'all home loans, knowing that they were going to balloon. You walked in there with no job, subprime credit score, no really way of paying it. But you walked in there. They didn't ask a whole bunch of questions, and some of y'all was buying $200,000, $300,000, and $400,000 houses. I'm telling you what I know. I had friends who was buying those kind of houses on those variable rates. They were doing fine because they was making good. They was making money, on their jobs. And then, and I had a friend who, when I would come to visit him, he was always breathing heavy. Like, man, why you always breathing heavy when I come see you? He said, man, I'm always at work. I can't enjoy all this. He had a car in the parking lot that he had a bill on, okay, and he had the mortgage. And that ain't counting the insurance and maintenance and upkeep and all this stuff. He always breathing because he had to work 10 hours on his job just to try and afford something that says, hey, look what I bought. That's right, Nancy. He couldn't sleep at night. And he was always fighting with his wife over money. It was crazy. And they were just giving it to you all. And then bam, the bottom fell from under these people, and many people by the thousands lost their homes. They couldn't afford the balloon payment. Some people was paying, like, let's say $1,500 for a mortgage a month. They could afford it. And then it doubled and tripled. And they're like, there's no way I could pay this. Right, you get a loan, and you get a loan, and you get a loan. I'm telling y'all, it was crazy. I seen house notes jump from $900 to $1,600. My God, today. Me too, Butch. It was crazy. And so many of your friends lost their homes because they got greedy, trying to keep up with the Joneses, Timothy. Yes. All right. So then the credit companies start coming up with a new type of reporting. Also, NWalk was what's called the FICO score XD. And then they came up with this thing called the Ultra FICO score. Okay. And what did these do? Basically, what they did was put your utilities on the scores. I mean, everybody paid the utilities on, well, a lot of people pay the utilities on time. They want to keep their lights on. So they put the utilities on the score, and they obviously, if they're going to put the utilities on there, you might as well put the rent on there as well. And then they put even your checking accounts were put on your credit score so that the creditor can see how much money you make and how much you deposit in your accounts. All right. And then so these type of scores here, help people with low credit scores get better scores. Yeah. When your house rent jumps, your landlord is broke and got a variable loan. That's it. And like Joe Bounce was saying here, putting your kids' name on your utility bills. And this is how people putting your kid's name on your phone. This is what we did back in the 80s. You put your kid's name on your phone bill. And then what happens is that score or that debt stays attached to the child's social security number. Attached. Even though 7 years, things are supposed to fall off, but it stays locked in history. And when the child comes of age where they could get credit, when they try to get credit, they run a credit report and there is something on the report. Or it may not be there yet, it may not be there anymore, but then it pops up later on because that creditor in many cases don't ever go away. They just reinitiate. They're still going after that debt that you owe. Some debts never die. They just never die. And so a creditor can come after you for 7 years, 10 years. Later on, you still owe them, and they're gonna find a way to find. Once they find you, they're gonna report you to the Experian TransUnion. Now it pops up on your credit report again. You're like, what? How did this happen? And then it pops up on your kid's credit report because you did this one thing back in 30 years ago. I'm telling you what I know. I've seen the worst of the worst. Me and my son always get stuff mixed up on our credit reports. There's stuff that popped up on his credit report that was mine, and stuff that popped up on my credit report that's his. Because we've got the same name, Walter DeBerry Jones, and we lived at the same address for years. So they just mixed us in together. They mixed us in. Yep. Screwed it up. Many parents screwed it up. Yeah, they cannot legally. Yeah, true. All right. So that's pretty much it there. when it comes to credit. Was there something here that I wanted? Did I want to did I read this? I can't. Oh yeah. So as far as these apps is concerned, I'm gonna end with these 7 credit monitoring apps to help you stay on top of your credit. You've got to know the difference between a FICO and what's called a Vantage score. A Vantage score. They are actually 2 different scores. There are more scoring out there. These are the 2 popular ones. And when you all are looking at a Credit Karma app or CreditWise, those are Vantage scores. They do work. They do pull from your credit report, and you can get maybe a Visa from there or something like that. But when you try to buy something at a high end like an automobile, then the automobile is going to check your FICO score. You understand? Yeah, your Vantage report, you're going to get some cute cards. You might even get a small little personal loan. But when it comes to something big like a car or a house, they don't play with these. They don't play with this. And if you look at your Credit Karma and then look at your FICO app, myfico.com, you're going to see 2 different scores. You'll be like, wait a minute, aren't they pulling from the same source? How's my Experian on my FICO app says 700, but my Experian on the Credit Karma says 650. How is that possible? They're 2 different reporting, and you got to know that. All right, here's Mint Money Manager. I actually like Credit Karma. I don't have the app based off of the sufficiency of the score itself. I buy it for its products, for the things, the calculations and things like that. I mean, I don't buy it. I mean, it's free. But I like it because of the many things that it offers me. That it offers me. Not because if I see 720 on Credit Karma, I do not get excited. No, I don't get excited at all. No, I like it for its robust way of calculating this and calculating that, and you could apply for this and get this. Your chances of doing this is this is this. That's why I like Credit Karma. All right, and the credit card, the credit cards themselves need Credit Karma. They love Credit Karma and these other places because they know that they can sell products on Credit Karma. That's why it is free to you. It's free to you. TransUnion, these are they have their own special. Each reporting agency have their own special app. All right, I have them all, and they're great. I mean, I like them. Credit Sesame, it's okay. I got Karma. I don't really need Sesame. Credit.com, they were okay. CreditWise, I do have them. I like them. All right, so these are free, so you don't really have to worry about, stuff like that. But with these are not really free. These are the 10 best credit monitoring services that I suggest. I suggest you consider. We're in the world of people hacking every day. They are stealing your entire identity. And some of y'all are so gullible because you don't understand how social media work. And I keep getting messages from some of you in the inbox say, hey, we caught you in this video. Hit this link. When I see stuff like that, I say to myself, this person hit a link, didn't belong over there because somebody else got hacked. This person who's sending me this got hacked, don't even know they hacked. And they went over there thinking that it's them that they saw in a video and it was nothing but an ad. Now they send it to me because they're not sending it to me. The hacker hacked their account and the hacker is sending it to me. And then I hit it and then it keeps going. That's how it's like a virus. All right. So I know people are gullible. That's how people lose their identities because you all are gullible. And it doesn't take an African prince in the email saying, listen, I have $20 million that was stolen from me, and I got it back, but I can't transfer it because I'm somewhere in the Poconos, and I need somebody to help me with some finances so that I can get to my $20 million. So I want to know if you can send me so and so. Then when I get to my money, I'm gonna send you $1 million of that. And then, man, the folks, especially the seniors, was so gullible to that. My grandmother, my dear, God rest her soul, she got ate up by that stuff. This was the young years of these African princesses. I almost fell for that because I was young and gullible in the 90s. And I said, yeah, really? Man, I cannot wait to get $1 million from this guy. So what do you need? My social security number and my bank account? And what else you need? My youngest child's middle name? Which one? Man, I went to responding to that mess. And the Lord said, hey, delete that. Delete it. All right? So a lot of us fell for that mess. All right, so in walks these 10 these credit monitoring systems that we all need today. Some of y'all may not need it, but trust me, I use them faithfully. Aura, I don't use them, but they number one, Identity Guard, Identity Defense. Here's my baby right here, LifeLock. I've had LifeLock I've had LifeLock over 20-something years, and they have never let me down. Every time my password gets picked up somewhere, because you got to keep changing your password now. It tells me your password is on the dark web. Do something about it. I get the email all the time. Sex offender registries, I get that. Somebody moved in the neighborhood. All right. And a lot of other stuff. When I was applying for this Bank of America card that I just mentioned to you all, LifeLock hit me right up. They didn't just send me an email. They sent me a text, and they physically called me. Hello, Mr. Jones. Bank of America has run, or they'll say someone has run your credit report. Did you approve this? All right. And then if you say no, they're going to put somebody live on the phone and walk you through the whole process. I love LifeLock. All right. Experian has one as well. I've heard of them. Shield, Identity Force. Here's my other baby, my FICO. I pay them monthly because I check my credit score every week or so. My FICO. I pay the money. I don't care. I pay it faithfully. I love them. Leveraging educational materials and strong credit base. Obviously, they are the real score other than Vantage Score. Vantage Score is a real score, but, that's all I'm going to say. Just, I love my FICO. All right. The rest of these, Intellius, I know them. Privacy Guard was one I had considered. Okay. All right. So that's what these are. So when you go on your phone, obviously you will see that's Credit Karma there. That's what it looks like. And that's FICO, my FICO. All right. I keep them both on there because they both do two different things for me. The Credit Karma, I want to see something really quick, and I want to, calculate something real quick. I go there. But FICO, heavy hitters, heavy hitter. And then they tell you which scores are being used, because the scores are being updated every few years. All right. And then it'll tell you which score is being used. Right now they're using FICO Score 8. FICO Score 8 is being used now. All right. Gives you simulators on if you decide to get new credit and you got a low score, all that stuff. All right. Even the free apps do that as well. But FICO go into just a little bit more detail. I like them. Okay. So I hope that helped you all make educated decisions on what you're going to do with your finances. We can be talking about credit reports for the next 30 days and not be done. All right. Because I have a thick book that I That is like my Bible that I use to get my credit score up for creditors who were coming after me and calling. I knew what to say on the phone, what not to say on the phone. I knew how to get stuff off. I still do know how to get stuff on the credit, off the credit report. Even if I do owe something, all right, and it's delinquent and it's there, I know how to get it off. I don't escape it. I don't run away from it because that's non-biblical. You should pay your bills. If you owe someone, you don't run from that. I'm against some of the credit practices that I do see in these books. If you owe the bill, then be a good citizen because God is still watching you. Pay the bill, but make an arrangement with them. So a lot of times they sell this to a credit collection agency for a few dollars, and then the credit collection agency wants to make up that money, and so they make a deal with you. So if you owe $500 bill and you can't afford to pay it, then you write a letter or you call them and you decide, I will give you half. Most of the time, they will say yes because they want to make something. They're not just going to tell you no. Now some will say, no, we can't. Nope. Is this or none? Or we're going to keep going after you. Nope. Hang up the phone and call back. You're going to get somebody else on that phone who's going to say yes. And then they must put it in writing. You want to be a paper pusher. Get it in writing. And then that's why Credit Karma is great for that. And my FICO, they're really good with that, making negotiations, between you and your creditors, all right? They're really good at it. I've used them faithfully, and that's how I was able to get my score from 530 all the way up into the mid 700s, all right? And so I don't beg for credit. I really don't need it. I don't really need it, so I don't get nervous when my score drop a little bit because, I just don't. Some people are paranoid about their credit score, but some of them have to be because if you're in talks with buying a house and then you do not want anything to affect that score, nothing. Don't buy no bubble gum on credit, nothing. Shaking your boots, all right? Matter of fact, freeze it and lock your credit report when you're in negotiations or buying a home. You don't want nothing to mess that up, especially if you're interested in talking to a bank about getting a loan. All right, so all these things here, it's important for those who are, credit conscious. But for the rest of us, I really don't care. I really don't care. I got enough credit to get me by, and I like cash. I really do. I still think even though cash is trash, cash is still king. Ain't that something that you can be trash and king? I gotta go. God, I thank you for your presence and the people who were here. Oh, I thank them for constantly showing up just to see what this tall guy's got to say about life. Thank you for all the years of giving me the wisdom that I have. I want more. I need more, and I know you'll give it to me through the Holy Spirit. Bless these people in their homes. Protect them, oh God. Continue to pour back into them. There's people who are struggling right now financially, and because of the little wisdom that you may have given us, they are going to make educated decisions and make executive choices on what to do next with their finances. Some of these people are up in age and they have retired and they're sitting back wondering, can I survive? God, I know they can. Through your wisdom, through the Holy Spirit that lives in them, the Holy Spirit will show them, give them the advice that they need so that they can make it until the day you give them their last breath. They'll be able to survive through whatever pandemic, epidemic, and financial crisis America is going to take us through. It doesn't matter what the economy is going to do. You are going to protect the people of God because you've given them the wisdom. As we live in the land of Goshen, those people, you took good care of them while the famine was all through Egypt. So keep your people in the land of Goshen. Protect them, cover them, oh God. When you brought the people of Israel out of Egypt, they plundered the place. They all left there. Nobody was feeble. They felt good and danced all through that that Red Sea, and they had riches, oh God. So we know that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. Here we are with our hands out, waiting for you to supply our needs. God, I thank you. Give your name the praise in Jesus' name. Amen, amen. All right, y'all. See you tomorrow night. We'll talk about retirement. 401s, Ks, and IRA and her Roths. What kind of retirement plan do you want? Well, let's talk about that, okay? Just the bare minimum, the bare basics we're giving y'all, and then you can do your own research. All right? Be a smart researcher on your own. Take care of yourself. Already ate. Bye now.
Special delivery. We got a package. What is it? Let's see. Oh, it's a brand new boy. Return to sender. We don't want him. We got one already. UPS.
There, my grandbaby. That's Charles. Sir Charles. Look at him. He's a little upset right now. He upset at Grandpa because I won't give him his milky. You mad? You big mad? Huh? You big mad? Look at you, your little body. You can't do nothing with your little body. What you gonna do? Bust a move.
Goodbye. Enjoy yourself. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Well, goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Fellas, does it seem like you can't get a good woman? Ladies, wonder why you can't keep a man? Then read The 4 Women That Men Desire, Volume 1, by Sirwalterj to figure out how to break the cycle. Go to Amazon.com to get your copy today.